I'm going to go over some tips on ergonomics today. And first of all, just going to explain what they are. So when it comes to preventing pain, we've got stretches, kind of a warm up or a cool down. When it comes to activity modification, that would be like changing up the workout from day to day, so leg day, arm day, that type of thing. When it comes to ergonomics, that would be like using the correct lifting mechanics to reduce some of the load on different body parts. The other thing it might be is taking the weight down. So we'll talk about some different ways to do that. First of all, we're going to talk about your ideal grip when it comes to using like a carving knife or maybe an axe. Everybody has a different size hand. You want kind of that perfect size. In PT, we use a hand dynamometer, and that actually measures how strong your grip is. So you can make it big and you can squeeze, you can make it small and you can squeeze, and that highest amount of force that you apply is your perfect grip size. So you have to figure that out on your own, try a few different grips and see what works the best. The next thing is sharpen your tools. That makes a world of difference on how much force you have to apply. Whether you're doing a hook knife, whether you're using an axe, whether you're using a knife, it all makes a difference. A lot less force means less wear and tear on the muscles and the joints. Another thing, when you're going to cut, when you're going to cut that end or whatever with a saw, try to stabilize it so that you're not having to grip here and grip here. It's a lot more work on both hands. So if you can stabilize it, it's a lot less work. Another thing is when it comes to using an axe, it might be easier to use a smaller axe in order to be less work on your arm. Maybe having heavier handles might be a little less work on the hand when you're using a hook knife or a regular knife. Another thing is when you're using like a hook knife, I have experimented with, do you hold it here? Do you hold it here? Do you hold it here? Just changing and finding what angle works best for you when it comes to doing that motion. Another thing is you might take and use the other hand a little bit to help guide that, so now you're using both hands. Or if you're really struggling and maybe this hand is struggling, use something to anchor that spoon down, and then you could use, then it's going to be less effort to hold and do the knife. Another thing is, if let's say the hook knife is a problem, maybe you use a gouge, maybe you anchor that spoon down and you're using a gouge which might use your shoulders and elbows. So one big principle is if you are having pain maybe in your hand, switch and try to use maybe your elbow or your shoulder to do the work, and then use something like a gouge. You're still making the spoon, but you're switching what muscles are working, and as a result, less wear and tear here, less of that rotation motion, and you're still getting that bowl taken out just using a different tool. So let me know if you have any questions. Hope that helps.